Hello and welcome. So, if you are here, then there is an excellent chance that you've already built something real, something significant. You have customers, you have revenue, you have proof that the business works. So, I am not here to tell you that your business is broken. I'm here to show you where a working business can still be leaving serious money behind. Somewhere inside your business right now, there is profit on assets that you've already paid for, but you have yet to collect on them. And I'm not talking about having to launch a new product or open a new market. And I'm not talking about working 1 hour harder than you already do. I'm talking about money that is hiding inside the business that you've already built. So, over the next 60 minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly where it is hiding. There are 9 specific places, in fact. And then I'm going to show you how to pull out an additional at least 10 to 20% in profit out of your business in just the next 30 to 90 days. So before we go one step further, I want you to grab a pen and something to write on. I'm serious. Go ahead. I'll wait because there are going to be 3 things that I'm going to tell you to write down during this briefing. And the third one will be a number you won't want to forget. Okay, you got it? So let's go. Now, before I show you anything, I want you to lock one answer into your mind. What do you currently believe is the biggest constraint on your growth? Is it leads? Is it sales? Is it people, margins, execution? I want you to choose one. And don't change your answer as we go, because before we're done, I'm going to show you why that may be a real problem, but it is probably not the root problem. Here's why this matters right now in particular. As the founder or CEO, you set a goal number for this year, a revenue number, a profit number, maybe both, a number that was going to make this year matter. And now, face the truth. If you're like most founders that I've been talking to of late, that number is not holding up. And it is not because you stop pushing. I know you, right? You're not somebody who ever stops pushing. Am I right? And it is not because your ambition faded. Here's what actually happened. The methods that built your business to this point are not producing what they used to. Costs are up, margins are thinner, and the marketing that used to work is costing you more for less. And your team is working hard, and the output yet still feels uneven. And then the final quarter of the year always arrives faster than you think, every year without exception. I want you to just know, okay, that you are not alone in this, but you are responsible for what happens next. So here's what I want to do with our time here together. I'm going to show you a new way of looking at revenue and profit, a way you probably have never seen before because you have spent years looking outside for the next customer, out for the next channel, out for the next hire. So stay with me here because this is the whole game. Your best profit opportunities are not out there. They are already sitting inside your business, hidden at the moment, but ignored and never collected on. The opportunities I'm going to show you today do not come from new products or new customers or restructuring your business or instituting any radical breakthrough. They come from leveraging what you've already built and paid for. Now, a filter before we go on. If you're looking for a magic trick, this isn't it. And if you're under about $500,000 in revenue, this briefing is going to be ahead of where you are. But if you're the kind of business leader who backs up your bold ambition with obsessive action, then I want you to stay with me for the next hour because by the time we're done, you will know exactly where profit growth is hiding in your business right now and exactly how to mine it. And when you stay until the end, I will give you access to the hidden profits diagnostic that I built that's powered by AI that will specifically show you how to profit mine your business. It will tell you in your business which of these 9 opportunities to pursue first. And I'll tell you exactly how to get it, okay, before we're done. One more thing before I show you the map. Everything you're about to see comes down to a single sentence. This is what you're going to write down. This is one of the first of the 3 things that I want you to write down. Are you ready? Profit is built on systems, not hope. You're going to see me prove that 9 different ways in the next hour. Now, if we haven't been properly introduced, my name is Darren Hardy, and for 25 years, I was the central curator of the entire success media industry. Executive producer of 3 Success television networks, publisher of Success magazine. So my job for a quarter of a century was to decide who was legitimate enough to put in front of millions of business leaders and entrepreneurs, So this put me across the table from nearly every titan of business, every elite athlete you can think of, every superstar entertainer of our time. I've written several books, including the international best-selling book, The Compound Effect. And in running my private business masterclass, I personally trained and mentored more than 11,700 CEOs, founders, and business leaders, companies of every size, in every industry, every business model that you can possibly imagine. And I tell you all that for one reason, so that you know that what I'm about to show you, it's not theory, it's not conjecture. It's a pattern that I have watched repeat without exception across thousands of real businesses. Oh, and I'll be candid with you here, okay? Not everything that I collected from those business titans over the 25 years worked. Some of what the biggest names told me was brilliant at their stage of growth and capability, but fell apart inside a $5 million company. But what survived after being stress tested across 11,700 real businesses is a very different body of work than what you will hear at conferences or on podcasts. This is not what sounded good. This is what held up, proven to work in real businesses like yours. For years, these patterns were only delivered through my private advisory or mentoring sessions or private trainings. But now my team and I are turning what I've collected into a library of playbooks, each one built around a single pattern that has proven itself over and over to be profitable. Today, I'm going to hand you one of them. But first, let me show you the pattern, okay? Here it is. Every business past at least a $500,000 in revenue has a profit inside it right now that has never been collected. Again, not a new customer that you have to go out and find, and not a new product you got to go out and build. That profit is sitting in three places that you already own: the audience that you've already built, the value proposition you already deliver, and the marketing that you are already running, assets that you've already paid to create, but just haven't fully collected on. And look, as I said up front, the problem is for not for a lack of effort. You don't have an effort problem. You only have a visibility problem. The old playbook tells you to push harder for new leads, launch a new product, hire another closer. But it almost never tells you to look inside what you've already built. And have you ever wondered why nobody has ever told you this? Think about who gets paid when you look outside. The ad platforms get paid when you buy more traffic. The agencies get paid when you chase more leads. The gurus get paid when you buy the next funnel. The entire industry gets paid when you look out. Nobody gets paid but you when you look in. So nobody ever pointed you there. But today, I am. So let's look inside, okay? Because once you see this, you will not be able to unsee it in your own business, and it will become a key advantage in outproducing your competitors. Every business, every industry runs on two key variables. The first variable is who you are talking to, okay? And that is right here on this map. It is on the left, your audience. And your audience exists at three temperatures. This is the vertical here, right? Cold, warm, and hot. Your cold audience is anyone who has shown you some interest but doesn't know you well yet. They've clicked your ads, they've engaged with your content, they've requested information. They may have even bought something once, but they're just not part of the family yet. Now, your warm audience, they've been around a while, right? Building a relationship with you. They follow you, they open your emails, they know your name and your mission. And then your hot audience already knows, likes, and trusts you at the highest level. They are very often already customers or clients, but they don't even have to be, okay? Now, I want you to notice something important here, okay? Temperature is not about how much somebody has spent with you. It's about how deep the relationship actually is. Does that make sense? Good, okay. Now, the second variable is what you are offering them. And your offer breaks down into three layers as well. Layer number one is the first yes. Whatever gets somebody to cross the line for the very first time, their first purchase, their first commitment, however small that might be. Layer two is the full relationship, everything that comes after the first yes, the additional products and services that increase their value to your business. And then layer three is the compounding system. What makes somebody come back, keep coming back without you even asking every single time? It's what turns your best customers into your strongest advocates, the one sending you referrals without being told to. Now, watch what happens, okay? If you line those two variables up against each other, three audience temperatures, three offer layers, you get a grid. 9 intersections, 9 specific places inside your business where your profit is either being collected or it is still sitting there waiting to be mined. I call this the hidden profit map. And if you're watching on a device right now, I want you to screenshot this map. I mean it. You're going to want this on your phone when we're done. But don't try to memorize all 9 boxes, okay? From this point forward, I want you to be looking for only one thing. Where do you see your business on this map? Where is the gold hiding inside these 9 boxes? Not theoretically, not someday. Where's your money sitting right now? Now, here's why this map matters. No matter how many years you have been in business, no matter how successful you already are, right now you have a blind spot. We all do, okay? This map is going to help you find yours. The 9 boxes fall into 3 territories, and we're going to walk through all 3 here together. Territory number 1 is the top left. This is the untapped audience, okay? These are the relationships that you've already paid for that you have just never converted. Territory 2 is the monetization gap, right? These are customers who would pay you more if you ever asked. And then territory number 3 is the random acts of marketing, revenue that just happens once because nothing was built to make it repeat. I'm not going to explain them from the outside. We're going to open up every box one at a time, and I'm going to show you what's inside with real businesses, big ones and ones your size. But today is not about fixing all the 9. Today is about finding the one box to open first, to mine that 10 to 20% more profit out of what you already have and get back on track to win this year. Because here's what I know about who wins Q4. The businesses that win won't be the biggest. They won't be the best funded. They'll be the ones who decide faster. The leader who sees a gap and moves always beats the leader who sees it and studies it. We're going to find out which one you are, okay? So let's open up the first territory. Territory number 1, the top left, the untapped audience. Here's what all 3 boxes in this territory have in common. In every one of them, a relationship already exists. You already paid to create it through advertising, content, referrals, events, and your time. But it has never been converted into its first or its next financial commitment. The audience already exists. The system to convert them is what's missing. So let me show you what that looks like on all 3 temperatures, okay? Because you're almost certain to have at least one of these in your business right now, left untapped. Box number 1 is the top left vertical, right? Cold prospects who showed real interest and never bought. Here's something almost everybody watching this has done themselves as a customer. You put something in an online shopping cart, you get distracted, and you just never finish checking out. And that happens on nearly 7 out of every 10 online orders. 7 out of 10. Billions of dollars a year just sitting in abandoned carts. Now, here's the part that matters. Businesses that just follow up with a simple automated sequence recover 15 to 30% of those orders. So the same leads you already paid for, on the same products you already have, at the same price you're already offering. The only thing that changes was a system behind it. Did you get that? See, Dell proved this at a massive scale decades ago. Every prospect who requested a quote and didn't buy entered a structured follow-up sequence. And a meaningful share of those quote unquote deemed dead leads bought within 12 months, but only when somebody actually followed up. Look, it's easy to do. And most businesses have some form of this already going, but I promise you that abandoned cart communication, it can be much stronger, much more influential, thus a much higher conversion. Box number 2, this is the middle left. This is your warm audience, long-term followers who have known you for years and just paid you once. Let me show you a good example of this. Before 2011, the New York Times had millions of online readers coming back day after day, year after year. They trusted the brand, that they knew the writers, they had a real relationship with the company. They just had never paid for any of it. So in March of 2011, the Times introduced something simple, a metered paywall. Read a handful of articles for free every month. Past that, become a subscriber. They didn't chase new readers. They asked their existing warm audience, the audience that they already had, the one reading on them for free for years, to subscribe for further access and further value. Today, more than 10 million people pay for the New York Times. Without this conversion, they most likely would not have survived. But with this, they're thriving. So lock this in, okay? A warm audience that is never bought is not uninterested. They have simply never been asked in the right way. You see, the right way is something that you'll find in the playbook that I'll give you. Box number 3 is the bottom left here. As you see, this is your hot, yet still untapped audience. These are often your great customers in one part of your business who have never been introduced to the other things that you sell. Years ago, Salesforce noticed something about their most committed, longest tenured customers. As Salesforce launched new products and new features and new service tiers, those customers were never systematically introduced to any of it. The assumption inside the company was our loyal customers already know. They had no clue. And I guarantee that that is happening inside your business as well. So Salesforce built a systematic introduction process for their own hot audience. In fact, Dreamforce became the ultimate expression of it, their deepest customer relationships introduced to what's new by the people they already trust most. That single event by itself now draws more than 40,000 people in person, over 170,000 registered across live and virtual, almost all of them existing customers. So here's the principle, okay? Your hottest audience trust transfers to new categories, but only if you make the introduction. Most businesses leave that to chance. Now, you might be thinking, Darren, I'm not the New York Times. I'm not Salesforce. Yeah, of course. Those are just illustrations that everybody's familiar with to get you thinking. Let's now bring this down to the Main Street level, okay? If you run a construction or a remodeling company, think about everybody who has ever asked you for a bid for a kitchen, for an addition, for a new build, and never signed. You already spent real hours on that estimate, walking the site, pricing materials, building the proposal, developing relationship and rapport. That's real money spent, whether or not they ever became a client. A single signed project can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes far more. And most contractors bid the job, don't hear back, and move straight to the next lead without ever circling back on the ones that went quiet. If you run a veterinary practice, think about everybody who called about a first appointment and never brought their pet in. Every one of those calls is thousands of dollars in lifetime value sitting in a notepad by the front desk. And by the way, this isn't theory. Dr. Christine Collins, one of our members, owns a veterinarian clinic, one location. She's got real staff, real payroll. She plugged these exact leaks and added $1 million in revenue within a single year, operating the same clinic with the same phones. To just stop letting it walk. The audience already exists. The systems to keep talking to them until they convert is probably what is missing. Okay, grab your pen again. Here's the second thing that I want you to write down. Of those 3 boxes that I just showed you, the left side of the vertical, cold, interested that never bought, warm, followers on the fence, hot, customers who bought once, but or only in one category, which one sounded most like your business? Write that box down because we're going to use it later. Cold, warm, or hot? You got it? Good. All right, territory number 2. This is the top middle, the monetization gap. Here's what all 3 boxes in this territory have in common. In every one of them, there is a mismatch between what you're offering and what your audience would actually pay for if you asked. The profit is there. The architecture to capture it is what's missing. So let's start cold, okay? This is the top middle right here, because this is the one that surprises people the most, even though it shouldn't. When Tesla launched the Model S, they built a lower priced entry trim, a stripped down version, priced well below the rest of the lineup. The assumption was the same one almost every business makes. New buyers need a cheaper way in. Only 4% of buyers chose it. Four. The other 96% skip right past the cheap option and pay for a higher trim. So, what did Tesla do? They killed the entry version entirely because almost nobody wanted it. They spent millions in development costs that was wasted because a huge share of brand new buyers were ready to jump to the top the entire time. Your cold audience may be willing to pay more than you're letting them. Now, step up to your warm audience, the middle, okay? These are buyers with no next step because you never built one. You see, when Steve Jobs came back to Apple, the iMac was the entry point, but the real genius was everything that came after the iPod, iTunes, iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple Music, Apple TV. Every one of those was an ascension offer to somebody who already said yes to Apple once. Do you see that? You see, the customer who bought a $1,300 iMac in 1998 has spent tens of thousands of dollars with Apple in decades since, or hundreds of thousands of dollars with Apple since. The entry point was just the first yes. The ecosystem was the ladder. I hope that you're getting this because this is really, really important stuff. You see, most businesses build the entry point and never build the ladder. McDonald's found the same gap from a completely different angle. They had customers already at the counter. They already paid to advertise to get them to the counter, already committed, almost zero friction left. So they asked one ascension question at the exact moment of highest commitment. Do you remember what that question is? Would you like to supersize that? Now, here's why that question is worth billions of dollars, more than it sounds. The burger runs around a 55% margin. The fries and drink, 75 to 90%. That one question doesn't just add a few dollars to the ticket times hundreds of thousands of tickets. It shifts the sale towards the highest margin items in the building. Stay with me here because this next line is the whole territory. The moment of highest buyer commitment is the moment most businesses say nothing. And that silence is the monetization gap. And I have watched it cost fortunes across thousands of businesses. Now, the hot boxes, right? The bottom middle here. And these are my favorites. Back in 1999, American Express looked at their highest trust cardholders, people essentially uncapped in what they were willing to spend, and realized that they had never offered that segment a product that matched their appetite. So they built the Centurion Black Card. You might have heard about it. It's invitation only. It costs $10,000 in initiation fees, $5,000 a year in annual fees. They never marketed it to new customers. It's offered exclusively to existing cardholders who have already proven their deep commitment to the brand. Just in fees alone, it added $1.7 billion in revenue, a 5% bump in all of American Express's revenue, but with the outsized strategic value reinforcing their premium brand, attracting high spending customers across the broader American Express ecosystem. Here's the principle. There's almost always a segment of your hottest audience willing to pay significantly more for a meaningfully better experience. Oh, there's a lot in that sense. I hope you got it. You see, most businesses have never built that tier, and it's costing them a significant part of their future and a significant part of the value that they could deliver to their best customers. Now, let me make this real at your scale with one of our own members, okay? Let me tell you about Michael Solar. Now, Michael owns a dog training business, one location. When he came to us, he was doing about $200,000 a year and grinding for every dollar. He's a good trainer, had a great reputation, customers who loved him, and he was completely stuck. Then Michael saw this map, and his gap was sitting right here in this territory. His hottest audience, the owners who trusted him completely, who referred their friends, who would have done anything he recommended, had nowhere to go after basic training. No premium program, no next level, no ladder. So, after coming to the business masterclass, getting the ideas he needed, he built one. With the same location, same staff, and the same phone number, soon Michael's business grew to $1.2 million a year, from $200,000 to $1.2 million using just one box on this map. He didn't find new customers. He mined the ones he already had. Are you getting this? And if you're sitting there thinking that, well, your industry is different, let me run the pattern by you, okay? If you want a franchise, there's very often a premium tier already sitting inside the franchise system, a higher level program, and intensive one on one work. Corporate makes it available, but most local owners never actively offer it. If you run a gym, your monthly dues get people in the door, but the real profit sits in training packages most of your members have never even heard exist. One personal training package can be worth more in a single month than a member's entire year of dues. If you're an accounting firm, tax prep barely covers your time. The advisory retainer, where you can help your clients make decisions all year long, is where the real money lives. And I see this constantly. Your audience already showed you what they'll pay for the base offer, and you never asked what they'd pay for something more. By the way, consulting firms charge $50 to $100,000 to find this gap for you. They call it revenue optimization audits, and it takes 90 days and produces a binder. I just showed you where to look in 20 minutes. Keep that in mind for later, okay? Now, take a beat here. Look at the boxes that you wrote down a few minutes ago. If one of these three just hit harder, I want you to cross it out and write in a new one. The map is doing its job. We've got one territory left. Territory number 3. This is the right top here. Random acts of marketing. Here's what all 3 boxes in this final territory have in common. In every one of them, your business is creating revenue in isolated moments that never compound into a system. The activity is there. Something is working, but it happens once and then it's gone because nothing was built to make it repeat. So let's start with your newest buyers, right? The top right. In 2001, Amazon was spending heavily to acquire new customers. Jeff Bezos didn't respond with a new product line. He built a recommendation engine that mined every existing customer's own purchase behavior immediately after every transaction. Customers who bought this also bought that. Became one of the most profitable sentences in business history. Think about the timing here. The moment right after a purchase is the moment of highest buyer enthusiasm in the entire relationship. You can do the same. You see, most businesses send a receipt at that moment. Amazon built a system. Industry analysts estimate that engine drives roughly a third of every Amazon transaction today. A third of a company doing hundreds of billions of dollars a year from one system built entirely on signals customers were already giving them. If you are not doing this, you are losing money. Now, your middle audience, right here. In 2008, Starbucks had overexpanded. Then the recession hit at the same time, and the stock had dropped 42%. McDonald's was going to spend $1 billion to attack them to try to drive them out of business. They were in trouble. And then the CEO, Howard Schultz, he knew it. So he got advice from the chairman of Costco explaining it's better to get your existing customers, ones you don't have to go out and advertise and pay for to get, your existing customers to spend more than it is to try to go get new customers. That's an important line. I hope you got that. Let me say it again for you. It's better to get your existing customers to spend more than it is to try to get new customers. That became the inspiration behind the Starbucks loyalty card. One system built entirely on relationships that already existed. Today, Starbucks Rewards has more than 35 million active members just in the United States. And members account for over half of all the sales at company-run stores. Over half of their increased revenue from people who were already customers. That's the line again, the one that I had you write down. Profit is built on systems, not hope. Starbucks didn't hope their customers would come back. They built the system that made it automatic. I'm telling you, you can do the same. And then finally, the right bottom here, your most loyal customers. In the early 2000s, Adobe had millions of deeply committed users, people who bought Photoshop once for $699 and used it for years. Adobe was badly under-monetizing its most loyal relationships. Finally, in 2012, they shifted to Creative Cloud. Users who once paid $699 for every 3 years began paying roughly $600 a year. The same audience, same software, a completely different monetization architecture. Well, Adobe's market value grew by tens of billions of dollars from 14 billion to now well over 90 billion off that one single lever, one box on the hidden profit map applied to an audience they already owned. Now, taking this down to the Main Street level, here's how to actualize this for yourself. Let's say you run an auto repair shop. You probably already send the oil change reminder. That's not the gap anymore, but here's what's still missing. That reminder reminds and then stops. It doesn't ask the customer who just paid you to tell a friend. It doesn't flag them for the maintenance package worth a heck of a lot more than the oil change itself. A single missed upsell or referral might only be $60 or $80, but multiply it by every customer, every visit, every year you've been in business, and you're looking at a number that dwarfs anything you'd spend chasing a brand new customer. And don't take my word for it. Here's Drew Walsh, right? Another one of our members owns towing.com. One system from this territory alone doubled his annual recurring revenue. Not new trucks, not new territory. One system pointed at the customers he already had. If you run a store, be it online or brick and mortar, the customer who just bought is at their highest point of trust in the entire relationship. You hand them a receipt. But the businesses that win, that dominate their categories, hand them a reason to come back. So there it is. The same fundamental pattern in every one of these 9 boxes. Your business is not missing customers. Your business is not missing the right offers. You already have both, or you wouldn't be as successful as you already are. What you are missing are the systems that collect what you've already earned. Now, stop here for a second, okay? Before we go one step further, I need you to sit with something. We just walked all 9 boxes, 9 specific ways profit hides inside a business that's already working. And here's what I know that you don't yet. Every one of the 11,700 plus businesses that I've advised, every single one had at least one of these 9 sitting wide open, gold laying under their feet wide open. Not most of them, I'm talking every single one. In all these years, I've never once found an exception. So here's the question you actually have to answer right now. Are you the one business out of 11,700 that's different, that already has all of this perfect? Have you truly captured every dollar of profit already sitting inside your business? Now, you already know the answer. So let's find out what it's worth, okay? I want you to take your annual revenue right now. Think of it. What's your annual revenue? And I want you to multiply it by 10%, the very minimum. Got it? And I want you to say that number out loud. I'm serious. Nobody's listening. Just say it out loud. That's the minimum I believe is sitting inside your business this minute, uncollected. Bare minimum. It's likely 3, 5, maybe 10 times that, while you keep looking somewhere else for growth and new profit. Here's the third thing that I told you I would tell you to write down. Write that number at the top of your page, okay? Write it big, put it inside the box. That's not my number. That's your number. Now do one more piece of math with me here, okay? Take that number that's in the box and divide it by 52 and look at what you get. That is what waiting costs you every single week. Because here's the bare knuckle truth about hidden profit. It doesn't sit still. The carts abandoned this week are gone. The quotes that went cold this week will sign with somebody else. The customers who would have said yes this week were never asked. That number isn't sitting in a vault for you to just accumulate and go cash in later. It's bleeding out a little more every single week. Hidden profit doesn't sit still, it bleeds, and the wound doesn't close itself. So write that weekly number down as well and put it in the other box. Okay, we're going to come back to both of them here in just a few minutes. And look, if you're still with me here, if you said that number out loud and you didn't flinch away from it, that tells me something about you. You're the kind of leader who can hear a hard number and use it. You see, most people can't, but you can. And I respect that. And it matters for what I'm about to show you. Here's where we are, okay? You've seen the hidden profit map, the untapped audience, the monetization gap, random acts of marketing. and you've got a box written on your page, right, with a number of it, what it's costing you weekly, which brings you to what I promised you at the start. Everybody watching today gets free access to the hidden profits diagnostic that I have built. Okay. I built it to do exactly one thing, to tell you specifically in your business where your number one hidden profit opportunity is. Not a guess, not a gut feel, your actual starting box on your actual map. And I'll show you how to get it here in just a moment. But I need to be straight with you about something here first. The diagnostic solves the first problem, where it sits on this map. It does not solve the second problem, which is how to mine it out. And the second problem is the one almost nobody solves on their own, because the strategy matters. The sequence matters. The systems matter. Knowing where the gold is buried and knowing how to mine it are two completely different problems. The good news is this: I have the second one for you today as well. Remember the line that I had you write down? Profit is built on systems, not hope. Well, here's the truth about systems: nobody builds them by accident. Every one of those 9 boxes here opens with a specific proven strategy. The reactivation sequence that recovers dead leads, the ascension architecture that turns one yes into 10, the referral system that makes your best customers sell for you. You don't stumble into those, you install them. So I built something that hands you the exact one for your business. It's called the Hidden Profits Playbook. Your personalized diagnostic will tell you which of the 9 boxes to open first. Then the playbook hands you the exact strategies that are proven to work inside that box. Not just theory of it, the actual execution. If your gap is, say, reactivation, you get the reactivation sequence, the exact copy to send out that has been tested, tweaked, and proven to convert. If it is ascension, you get the ascension architecture, what to offer, and exactly at which points of decision and what to say at those points. If it's the referral or continuity gap, you get the full system build start to finish. You get the step-by-step strategy plus an entire custom-built AI execution suite to output every communication sequence and every creative asset that you need to run each of the campaigns, made unique to your business, your product, your service, to your specific best buyer target audience. And inside the playbook, you'll see more case studies, not just Amazon and the Starbucks, businesses your size, like Michael's, who found this exact gap and how they went about mining it. That one playbook could change your next 90 days and the compounding effect of that on your future. And before we're done here today, I'm going to show you exactly how to get it for free. But let's pause here for a second, okay? Take a sip. Because there is one problem underneath the one that we just solved. Let's assume the playbook works, and I'm confident that it'll work for you. Say you pull that 10 to 20% of profit out of the box that you identified. Now what? Does that money compound, or does it just get absorbed back into a business that runs the same way that it already has? Can your team actually execute it at the next level, or does it just still run all through you? Is your marketing sharp enough that this becomes a category position, not just a one good quarter? Is your sales process strong enough to convert the new wave that you just created instead of leaking half of it out the back? And in 6 weeks from now, when the excitement of this all wears off, who's still in your corner making sure that you don't gradually slide back to where you started? And I know what the experienced operator is thinking right now. Darren, I already know some of this. I expect that you do. The question isn't whether you recognize the idea. The question is whether the system is installed, assigned to an owner, measured every week, and producing without your personal intervention. Knowing is not the standard. Operating at excellence is. You see, recovering profit is a strategy. Building the kind of team, the kind of marketing and sales engine, and the kind of leadership that keeps compounding it. You see, that's a different thing entirely. That's not a playbook problem. That's an operating system problem. And now you can see why I didn't begin this briefing by telling you about a business masterclass. An hour ago, it might have sounded like another event, another collection of ideas, another 3 days away from your business, but now you can see what it actually is. It is where we install the operating systems behind every box on this map. So your growth stops depending on what you personally remember to chase. And for 35 years, that has been my life's work. collecting the strategies from the best in the world, stress testing them across 11,700 real businesses, throwing out what only sounded good and keeping only what held up. So twice a year, I take everything that survived 35 years of stress testing and install it live with a room live and in person of serious business builders. It is called the Business Masterclass. Over 3 intensive days, we build the 6 capabilities your next stage of growth depends on. A market position that makes you the obvious choice in your category. A sales system that consistently converts demand. A customer strategy that expands value and generates referrals. Scalable systems that grow revenue without multiplying your hours, and an A team that executes without everything running through you, and an AI automation system with tools that accelerate the entire operation built for today. But don't think of those as 6 separate subjects. Together, they form one operating system, one that attracts the right customers, converts more of them, expands their value, and gives your team the systems to execute without you constantly pushing. The hidden profit maps identifies your first leak. Business Masterclass helps you build the company that stops creating them. Now, remember what I told you just a minute ago. I said I would show you exactly how to get the Hidden Profits Playbook for free. Okay, here's how. Our next Business Masterclass is October 19th through the 21st. But enroll today, and you don't wait until October to begin. You get immediate access to 4 things. Number 1, the Hidden Profits Diagnostic. Number 2, the complete Playbook Vault. Number 3, the AI portal, including my HardyBot, and the Collective, our private community of serious business builder. Each one has a specific job to do. The diagnostic tells you where to begin. The playbook gives you the proven strategy to mine it. The AI portal helps you build the campaign, all the communication, and all the execution assets. And the collective gives you experienced business leaders, guidance, and accountability while you implement it. So this doesn't begin in October, it begins today. So executing allows you to still win this year. So here's what just happened to your calendar. Today, you take the diagnostic. It hands you your starting box. The playbook hands you the strategy. The AI portal builds the campaign. The collective guides and supports you every step of the way. You start mining this week. That's collection window number 1, pulling the 10 to 20% out of the box that you identified before the Business Masterclass even begins. It's the same windows like members like Maria Oliver used. 50% increase in 3 weeks. These are her words, not mine. We can't afford not to go. Now, I can't promise you her result, but I can equip you with the tools that she used. And if you move like Maria, Business Masterclass can be paid for by the profit it helped you find before the event even starts. Then by October, you walk into the Business Masterclass not as a spectator, but with momentum. Profit already collected, proof already banked. And over those 3 days, I hand you the full arsenal, the complete operating system, every strategy, every system, all 6 capabilities. That's collection window number 2, October, November, December, mining the rest of your map and closing the year far and above what you had hoped for. 6 months from today, one of the 2 stories will be true. You'll either look back and realize this was the moment your business changed trajectory forever, or you'll still be trying to solve the same problems with the same tools, getting the same results. Either way, those 6 months are going to pass. The only question is, will they pass with a plan, or will nothing more than just hope? That is the complete system. The right strategy, so you know what to do, the right tools, so your team can execute it, and the right people, so the work doesn't stall when the next Monday takes over. Strategy, execution, accountability. Connected and ready to work on your business. Here's what Founders Insight have said. This is Christine Collins, owner of the veterinary clinic, what she reported. After applying just a few strategies, I increased my revenue by $1 million. Neil Ford leads an independent insurance agency. He says the ideas he got generated millions in added revenue and doubled his business twice as fast as planned. And listen to how fast this moves when you pull the right lever. This is Lisa Chase, the owner of a physical therapy clinic. She implemented just one thing and grew her revenue 125% in 1 month. Bill Dost, the CEO of a finance company, applied one strategy. And at lunch, the first day that he learned this, he generated $350,000 in new revenue. Deborah Brumfield, owner of a real estate company, took one idea and doubled her revenue. Brad Keating, with an environmental company, installed one strategy and picked up 2 million in his business he never would have seen. You see, I'm trying to show you other businesses, people just like you, in the spot where you're in right now. One lever every time. And it's not luck, it's just the map working with the operating system behind it. All different industries, all different types of customers, all different type of offers, but the same sequence every time. One previously invisible gap, one properly installed system, one measurable result. That is the power I'm asking you to judge. Now, I need to be candid with you about who this is not for. If you are pre-revenue or you're still under $250,000 in revenue, this room is ahead of you. Come back when you're bigger. And if you are the type that just likes to collect information and never execute, please don't take a seat from somebody who will. But if you're a serious business builder sitting on a real audience with real offers, this was built for you. So let's talk about what it takes to get in, okay? The Business Masterclass was originally built as a live intensive experience for serious business builders who wanted direct access to me and to the exact operating systems that I've spent the last 35 years developing. That's why the in-person Business Masterclass is by invitation only, and it's $25,000 each seat, okay? We only accept 40 people in person, and it fills up fast every time. But over the years, I realized that there were thousands of entrepreneurs all around the world who deserved access to these systems, even if they couldn't step away from their business and travel to be somewhere across the country, or even if they couldn't invest $25,000 to sit in that room. So we expanded access. The virtual Business Masterclass delivers the same curriculum, the same frameworks, the same operating system for business owners all over the world. The whole thing is set up to deliver globally and virtually. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this is an insignificant investment. It isn't. And I'm not going to tell you that every person watching should enroll. You shouldn't. If you already have the strategy, the team, the execution tools, and the accountability to close the box that we've identified and it is all running perfectly, great, go do it. But if you know what usually happens after a briefing like this, the notes get filled out, tomorrow takes over, and the leak remains open, particularly since you don't know exactly how to go about mining it or have a system that's going to make it repeatable. If that's the case, then compare the cost of getting help with the cost of leaving that gap untouched for another year. Today, your investment's only $895 monthly for the year, or $9,995 paid once annually. That includes the Business Masterclass coming up here in October, and everything that you need to begin now: your diagnostic and the playbook vault, the AI portal and the Hardy Bot, and your membership into the collective. And if you're wondering, Darren, why would you make this available at that investment level? Simple, okay? Because my mission has never been to fill a room. It is to build stronger businesses. I've spent my entire career watching incredible entrepreneurs stall out, not because they lacked ambition, but because nobody ever handed them the systems, the strategies that have been proven to work, and the systems to execute on. I'd rather see 10,000 business owners implement these frameworks than keep them locked away for the handful who could spend $25,000 each. That's why we built this. Now, remember the number that you have here at the top, okay? Look at that right now. 10 to 20% of your annual revenue sitting inside your business, assets you've already paid for but have never collected on. And you heard me earlier, that's the bare minimum. On the other side of that is $895 monthly, or $9,995 for the seat that installs the strategy, the playbook that mines it, and the AI that executes it for you, and the room that holds you to it. You want that number for this number. That's the whole decision. That's it. Is the $895 monthly more or less than the number that's at the top of your piece of paper? It's as simple as that, because you're not paying for a world-class training event, a multi-million-dollar AI execution system, and access into the most illustrious business leader community in the world. You are compressing the distance between where you are and where you want to go, and skipping years of slow, expensive trial and error to get there. And I also offer you this guarantee. Jump in, take the Hidden Profits Diagnostic. apply the strategy to your first box, experience everything inside the collective, all the way up and including the first day of the business masterclass. And if it is not everything that I'm telling you here, just excuse yourself, hand your materials back in, and I will 100% refund any money that you've spent up to that point. That is literally guaranteeing that you will love it or you can just leave it, costing you zero, nothing, 100% risk-free. And you can keep the Hidden Profits playbook either way as a gift. It's yours. Now, here's why I can do that. 11,700 plus CEOs and founders have gone through the Business Masterclass. And after all of those, the rating is 9.8 out of 10 stars. So I'm not guessing that this works. I've watched it work for 35 years. So there it is. One button, one decision. Click below, reserve your seat at the Business Masterclass, and then your tools, playbooks, the AI portal, and the collective membership activates immediately. So wrapping up here, okay? In a few minutes, you'll get an email from me with your hidden profit diagnostic. If you opted in via text, you'll get it via text as well. It will show you exactly where your profit is hiding. But do not let taking the diagnostic feel like progress. Knowing where the gold is buried and leaving it in the ground, sitting inside the box, is worse than never knowing at all. The diagnostic hands you the map. The Business Masterclass hands you the mining operation, the shovel, the crew, and me helping you. So here's where you are. You've seen the map, 2 assets, your audience and your offers, 9 boxes, and you've got yours written on the page in front of you, and you've got a number in the box at the top, 10% of your revenue, probably 3 to 5 to 10 times that, sitting inside a business that you already built. The year is moving. Q4 compresses faster than you plan for every single year. And here's the terrorizing truth about hidden profit. If you don't collect it, somebody in your market eventually will. The customers you never reapproach don't disappear. They buy from whoever asked. And there's still enough runway to mine your opportunity and win this year. That is why I've done this briefing, is to help you still win this year. But the window for that is closing, right? You've got to start on and execute now. You can't wait till November. So you have 2 options. Keep doing what you're doing and hope the profit gap closes itself, or start mining today. Enroll in the BMC Collective, get the Hidden Profits Playbook, and let's get to work. Okay, I'm glad you showed up. I hope that you see inside. I hope to see you inside and the Hidden Profits diagnostic. I hope to see you inside the collective, and I hope to see you at the October Business Masterclass. And remember, profit is built on systems, not hope. Okay, I'll see you soon.
This will be my 8th BMC. I've only implemented about 10% of the ideas that Darren has presented, and that has helped me build multiple multi-billion-dollar businesses.
I had to figure out who was out there that could help me, and Darren is who helped me.
When I started, I remember I was probably 25 in my first one, and I was making $60,000 to $70,000 a year. I was way out of my league as far as the people that were in the room.
Because of Business Masterclass, I actually started a marketing company, and it's added over $100,000 to my income last year alone. I've been able to bring on some really great people onto my team, which has allowed me to delegate at a level that I couldn't delegate before because I didn't have the right people in place. So I have time to spend with my family. Being around a lot of like-minded entrepreneurs that are doing huge businesses, way more than my mind would ever comprehend, has helped me really think on a much higher level and go out there and do things I may not have normally done before.
From the first BMC, I had 3 people on my team, which included myself. And now we have 15 people on our team. The revenue, I never calculated it until recently, and the revenue has grown 250%.
You can literally, in these 3 days, get everything in a playbook to take your business from an average business to the leader in your field. And I am a perfect example of that.
BMC is practical advice. It's not wishy-washy strategies, but it's things that could be implemented the next day. Our profitability on our original business has gone up in the range of 4 to 5 times. And that I can point directly back to the practices that were articulated in BMC.
First time BMCer.
This is my first BMC.
This is my second BMC. This is my second BMC.
This is my 4th BMC.
My 5th BMC.
This is my 8th BMC that I've attended.
And I'm pretty blown away. I've learned so much. It's also reshaped my mind in a lot of ways.
Everybody was talking about the BMC and they go, you have to do it. You just have to. It's like a rite of passage, you know? And so I did it and it just blew me away.
The implementation of those strategies absolutely transformed our business. Within the first year, we went from literally almost closing the doors to $3 million in sales. Eventually, we ended up where we were doing close to 12 million. While I was building this company, I also built a nonprofit from scratch, which is the largest growing nonprofit in the state of Oklahoma. And in the last 10 years, we're internationally recognized, and we went from serving 5 families with Econ therapy to over 200 in newspapers, articles, and all of this stuff. I did that in my freaking spare time, raising a special needs child and now running 2 businesses. This is the power of Business Masterclass.
We were stuck at a ceiling of about 2 million, 2.5 million annual. And we'd done that 2 or 3 years in a row, and I couldn't figure out how to get us to the next spot. And that first BMC, within the next 12 months, we 2x'd. And then 12 months after that, we 2x'd again. And then 12 months after that, we 2x'd again. I mean, you can't not make the money back almost instantaneously if you put in the work. The amount of impact that all of this training has had is phenomenal. I feel like I'm further along than I would have been had I not started doing this.
If you're searching for how to take your business, if it's stuck or it's growing, and you want to take it to the next level, there's no better way to take that as quickly as possible than Darren's Business Masterclass.
I have grown as a person, and it has changed me as a leader. The people that I've met, the connections that I've made have all given me such an opportunity to grow and to become, and to use all that I've been given in this life to really impact others. And so really, really, really cannot thank you enough for all that you do.